What's up, guys? My name's Jeff. That is Kim. That really is my wife. Nobody ever believes me, but she really is. This is My Wife Still Likes Me. We are going to talk about Singles Awareness Day.
Yes! Hi.
Oh,
I'm good.
you want to do a question?
Yeah. Let's pick from the middle.
Is this because you read the first one and you don't like the question?
No. I was scrolling. Just so we're clear. What is the funniest thing that your significant other has ever done?
So there was a TikTok trend going around about walking in on your spouse's Zoom meeting without any clothes on. I have done that more than once. Wait, what was the question?
What is the funniest thing your significant other has ever done?
Yeah, that's probably it.
No, you're supposed to say what is the funniest thing I have done.
Oh.
That's you. That's the funniest thing you have ever done.
Funniest thing you have ever done.
I'm hilarious, so.
You are.
That light does not want to work.
This is the one I can remember. I don't know if it's the funniest, but it was the did that really just happen thing? We were supposed to go to dinner.
Okay.
At your mom's house. 2 hours away.
Okay.
I was sitting in here with the kids, and we were supposed to leave at 3:00. You walked in at 2:00, all ready to go. I said, bye, I'll see you at mom's house. And you got in your car and left.
Yep.
And then me and the children got in my car and left. And that was I'm a gearhead and I like cars. And that was just we're never taking the same car anywhere ever again. Because you have your fun car, and I wasn't ready for it. We had been to dinner before, having fun. Let's go across town and go to dinner in separate cars. You drove to Phoenix 2 hours away. And I was like, what? Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that's the answer to the question, but
the one thing that I always think of is the first time I met your parents and the look of, you went through a whole range of emotions. So your dad is the guy that nobody messes with.
Yeah.
And we were teenagers and he shoved cake in my face, and me being me, not thinking anything of it, I wiped as much cake off my face as I could, and he had turned around to walk away thinking that no one was going to do anything about it, and I returned the favor. And I have never silenced a room, ever. Mm-hmm. And everybody was nobody breathed for the span of 30 seconds, waiting for his reaction. And me being me, I'm this is no big deal. This happens all the time. But you looked at me and you looked at your dad, and it was this back and forth. Is he gonna laugh? Is he going to nobody knew what to do. And afterwards, the funniest thing that you ever said was I did not know what to do, because that was amazing and terrifying all at the same time. So I thought that's where you were going to go with that. But
no.
Yeah. The cake incident was hilarious. It's still talked to about this day.
I'm trying to think of funny. You are we genuinely have fun together. But
yeah. Yeah, that one's hard because we live our life.
You just got in your fun car and left. And I'm aren't we supposed to go together? We usually take one car when we have to go somewhere. Mm-hmm. Nope.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. Yeah, I can't think of anything else because you're just, there's been a lot of funny, oh my gosh moments during quarantine. We had a lot of, But there are sometimes I remember I came downstairs after work one day and the entire living room, it looked like a circus tent, but you and the kids had built a fort. And I came downstairs and I was just like, what is happening? And you're like, just let it go. And I'm like, I don't care, but it was hilarious. Do you remember it?
I got one.
Oh, you got one. Oh gosh.
I got one.
I'm scared.
I got one.
We're waiting.
Yeah. We were in our house for a year and a half ish.
Oh.
And something happened. Something got spilled and it got left in a cabinet. And I came downstairs and you were standing on the counter cleaning ants and stuff off of the cabinets and things in our house, and you hadn't gotten ready for the day, so you were just like, we're past leave me alone. You were like deep cleaning the house, and I was just like, I came around the corner and you were standing on the counter trying to clean up stuff
in my pajamas.
Yes.
My hair was haphazard because I didn't even bother. I literally went down to, because we lived in a 2-story at the time.
Yeah.
And I was starting my coffee for the day. And I just remember seeing this line of ants and something switched in my brain. And I went through like straight to just, I got to clean. And I was rage cleaning. I don't think I've ever rage cleaned like that before. But
was okay when you should be serious, but that moment I came around and I was like, what are you doing?
I remember that. And I like imagine the slow turn from a horror movie, and I just like looked at him, and I remember just telling you like, there are ants and I'm cleaning.
And they were the little ants, the sugar ants that like it takes forever to get rid of them.
Oh,
and
it did.
And they have like rain jackets on, so raid doesn't work.
No, it was, yeah. Oh gosh, I forgot about that.
Anyway, all right. Singles Awareness Day. Would you please explain what Singles Awareness Day is?
Yes. So back in high school, there was a group of us friends, and I guess we're doing this in the dark today. Okay. The group of us, half of us were single, and I was on the single half, and then the other half was in a relationship. Now, I was a junior in high school. You know, relationships weren't really that serious at that point in time, but, you know, holding hands, walking to class. But at our school, the cheerleaders always did this Valentine's Day flower thing, whatever. And I just remember we had this conversation with the group of us, and we're like, you know, I hate Valentine's Day because it's a constant reminder every year that I am single. And so the joke started going around, yeah, it's a hyper awareness that we're single. And so we joked and created our own holiday called Singles Awareness Day. And we laughed because we made cards and everything. And it made the cheerleaders really mad because they used this Valentine's Day gram as a fundraiser. And because of what we were doing, everybody thought it was hilarious. So there was a lot of people that didn't buy Valentine's Day grams because they were making their own Singles Awareness Day. And we started joking about this. Half the school participated, and we told all our friends, yeah, we're going to do Single Awareness Day. We're not going to wear red. We're going to wear black. So half of the school is wearing black. And the funniest part is it was also coincidentally group picture day. So there is a picture of me and my group of friends all wearing black. And so it kind of became this joke that whether you were single or not, we're going to be wearing black in solidarity to our single sisters. And so this is where it's come from. And to this day, I still wear black on Valentine's Day. And the funniest part about it is we didn't do it on purpose. It just kind of worked out this way. But Singles Awareness Day, when you spell it out, is just sad. So this is where Singles Awareness Day comes from.
That's fantastic. So in light of that, we are talking about Valentine's Day and random thoughts. So the first thing I want to ask is, we have never had a traditional Valentine's Day because that's just not our thing.
Well, we also, for years, worked in various industries. I worked in the food industry, and, you know, we've worked in different customer service areas to where we could not always have Valentine's Day off. Most of the time we had to work. And so, but for us, we've never, like, celebrating is important for us, but not necessarily on the date. Like, I don't have to celebrate my birthday on my birthday.
Yeah.
And
that's, we've done that a lot of times because I'm never home on our anniversary.
no.
I think this is like 5 and 16 years I've been the day before or day after, but it's not often. Oh, this year one or both of us was sick, so I couldn't do anything.
Oh,
anyway.
yeah.
But before we get into tips for, this is the part I want your reaction to some of this. Tips for Valentine's Day. What is your favorite Valentine's Day memory?
Oh gosh. So the first time that we were both able to celebrate Valentine's Day on the actual day, our son was a baby. He was not even a year yet. And so my mom, she's like, hey, I'm going to watch your son. Go have fun. We didn't know what to do. Because it was kind of a last minute splurge thing that we were both in a place where we could actually celebrate. We were in the same state. We both didn't have to work. So we literally had no clue how to approach it. But we went to 4 different restaurants that had 2-hour or more waits. Like, I think we went to one place that had a 4-hour wait.
And nobody wants to be crammed into the Olive Garden waiting room.
Yeah.
For 4 hours.
And this was pre-pandemic too. So, you know, there was no social distancing.
And you couldn't check in online.
Yeah, no. So we went to Hooters.
This is my favorite too.
Yeah. And it was just, we got to celebrate and be with each other. We got to sit down and it was so much fun. We had a blast and I think we laughed the entire time because we're like, this is the most ridiculous thing. And it became my favorite memory of Valentine's. Like, we've done other sweet, wonderful things, but that one has always been my favorite because nothing went as planned.
There is no wait at Hooters on Valentine's Day.
No. We had our pick of tables. I think there was probably 5 people in the restaurant other than the people working there.
And we've told some other people about that and they've gone too. Like, we have friends that are like, that's genius. So if you're just like, if it's your day to go out and it happens to be Valentine's Day, Hooters, you'll get a seat
right
almost
away.
Instantly.
Yeah.
All right. That being said, traditionally speaking, Valentine's Day is this is my opinion, a money grab from everybody because everything is overpriced. We don't buy flowers enough and they're ridiculous the 2 weeks before that.
And basically the month of February. Yeah.
And so tradition and culture, if you will, has said that you have to go over the top. You got to dress to the nines. You got to go sit for 4 hours to go to Olive Garden. And gifts and this, that, and the other thing. And we're just not those people.
No.
But, is it okay for Valentine's Day to look different?
I am camp. Absolutely. It does not have to be you go out and buy a formal outfit for one day and dripping in diamonds and looking like you're getting married. Like, I have never been that person. And, you know, if it means going to Hooters, who cares? If it means going to the lake, who cares? If it means taking a trip And honestly, I remember I think our first Valentine's Day, we were broke. And it's not my favorite, but it's high up on the list. But the fact that you went to our favorite pizza spot and you bought pizza, we couldn't afford it. Like we were surviving on mac and cheese and hot dogs, like broke. But you made that day special for where we were at. And I didn't get a card that year, and that was okay. I didn't get gifts. But in that moment, and the whole point of Valentine's Day for me is you are celebrating the relationship with your partner. And in that moment, I felt so valued, so appreciated, so loved. And it was like a $10 pizza. And I think you splurged on like cinnamon sticks or something. I don't remember what it was, but it doesn't have to be, you get the checklist, because we've all seen this checklist. Like you get a gift basket from one of the roadside stands that are, done up in cellophane that have the teddy bear and the chocolate. Like it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be the card. It doesn't have to be the flowers. It doesn't have to be the dinner. I have seen both ends of that spectrum. And honestly, the people that I see expecting that, and it's from both sides, but the people that expect it to be extravagant and bigger and better every time don't last.
Yeah. And that's because you'd be broke. And arguably the significant other doesn't stick around when the money's gone.
Oh yeah.
And it just hurts.
Sad. Oh yeah.
Because that's one of those, like we were broke when we started, and we're still broke, but we're doing better than we were when we started. And so
we're comfortable.
Like, versus the other way, we both have friends who, doing significantly well for themselves and then fall on hard times, and then their wife leaves them, takes the kids in the house, and the guy's living in his car. And it's like, it doesn't have to be that way.
Well, yeah, but if you have a bigger and better relationship, like I'm all for trying new things. Absolutely. I'm not saying that, but it's the expectation that, the first date, you go to Olive Garden. The next time you have to go to some fancy steakhouse. And then the third date, you have to be at Ruth Chris. And then what's the fourth date? A private chef? Then what's next? Renting a yacht. And you can only go so big before that bubble bursts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And if your relationship is built on that expectation and not a relationship, that's a problem.
Yeah. All right. So tips from marriage.com has become my favorite website for content. Make a new tradition.
I love that.
And like for us, it's we don't do things on their days.
No.
Half the times I forget it's my birthday, but we do things. And a lot of times we do things with our kids, like go do something. Or there's another website called Tammy Hill. Buy a book for the bedroom. Try something new within your parameters, but like try new things, like
or get a set of dice or whatever
cards. Anyway, she said something. I was like, oh, that's me. She's like, yeah, get a book about something new in the bedroom, because often the fun part of the book is the homework. And I was like, you know what? She's right. Anyway,
that's funny.
It doesn't have to be like, there's going to buy new outfits for either the dinner or the after party, we'll call it. The point is to be together, right? And that's, if you're so like, how many guys are out there like worried about whether or not the card's going to be declined at dinner because they spent so much on everything before dinner? And I'm just like, we already have to worry about that every other week, because every 2 weeks is payday, and the Friday in between is like
too much month at the end of the money. I get it.
Reminisce about old Valentine's days, which is where I got the question to ask you about what your favorite one was. like our dating Valentine's Day is you made me wait until midnight in Arizona to ask you out. That's one of my favorite ones, but that was like, arguably that's our first one because that was a long time ago. I was laying on a couch in upstate New York on the phone, waiting till 3 a.m. to ask you to marry
It
me.
was only 2.
Whatever. Was it 2 or 3?
2-hour time difference.
What time is it in New York right now?
Oh my gosh.
I'm looking this up.
It's a 2-hour time difference.
When is
Pay up. $10.
I'm not giving you $10.
You don't have $10.
I don't make any money. I don't even know where my phone is. There
I
it
got
is.
you.
What time is it in New York? things we don't need to worry about on our show, but we're looking anyway.
It's a
World
2-hour
clock.
time difference.
It is. Shh. It's daylight savings time between now and then.
This is being recorded.
I'm not I'm wrong yet. Anyway, notes. There's notes. Spend the day with each other. Give gifts, but not overpriced ridiculousness. Something that means something. Gifts are not about the money, it's about the thought.
Yep.
Surprise your spouse. Use your imagination. Spa dates. This doesn't really excite me. But
sometimes you can
we
go
do
do a
the-
couples massage.
yeah, that excites me.
Or
But-
a pedicure together, and there are some people that just don't like those things, and there's nothing wrong with it. Like sometimes you just don't want to be touched by someone else, but if your significant other likes that kind of stuff, that's a
Yeah.
thought.
I like this one, but I feel like a lot of guys will get in trouble for not remembering this one. Recreate your first date. I'm
Do you
not a clue.
I was going to say, do you remember this?
No.
Yeah. There is something to be said though about, recreating your first date or something similar.
I remember prom.
Well, yeah, I looked good.
You look good all the time.
So yes, if you can recreate your first date, or I would even argue your favorite date, or even, when you proposed, think of those significant dates to you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Go through old pictures. Is number 9.
okay, keep going.
I like that one because we have old pictures, specifically like in today's world, phone pictures. We post them on our wall, like
Yeah.
the thing over there.
But we have pictures.
Yeah. Well, we have pictures, but like those are like selfies and like in the moment pictures. Go on a trip. Like a trip, like go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I would argue it doesn't have to be like out of the state. Like we've had nights where, again, my wonderful family has watched our kids and we've just stayed at a nice hotel in town just to
yeah.
get away.
We've done that a couple of times. Staycation.
Staycations, yes.
Number 11 is dress for your spouse. Like, not like going ridiculous over the top, but like
The bow on the package is important.
yes, that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
We should, yeah. Anyway,
Trademark.
yeah, and then handmade gifts is the last one. Oh nope, this one is my favorite one, which is tough because we're nighttime people. Go out for breakfast.
Oh, I love breakfast.
Like, go out with like breakfast or brunch. Like, instead of doing the go wait in line for a ridiculous amount of time for dinner, go out for breakfast and stay home.
That's
Like-
good.
One, breakfast is usually cheaper,
Yes.
but go out for breakfast. Do the thing like the go out for Valentine's Day, but do it at 10 a.m.
Yeah. That's a good one. No, and I used to work in the restaurant industry and you did a little bit, but statistically speaking, dinner is significantly busier. And I remember I had to work a double on Valentine's Day most years. when I worked at the sit down restaurant, but I remember this couple, and I was like, oh, happy Valentine's Day. And she's like, yeah, we're here for lunch to celebrate. So we don't have to, I forget what word she used, but she's like, so we don't have to deal with the craziness that is dinner. And so I asked her about it. And so what they will do is they will celebrate all day. And they had been together for like 50 years, significantly older couple. And I was like, is that the secret to marriage? And she's like, yes. We celebrate the day together. And what they did is she would make a special breakfast. They would go out to lunch, and then he would make a special dinner for them. And I think the thing that people get hung up on so much is it doesn't have to be traditional. Like you don't have to do like, there's one date, we haven't done this yet, but I want to. And I saw it on Facebook or somewhere, but they took a kid's inflatable pool and filled it with blankets and had a movie night in a pool. And it was hilarious and awesome. But I also saw where they did, they packed a picnic dinner and threw a bunch of blankets in the back of a pickup truck, and they drove to the middle of nowhere and they talked and ate dinner on the blankets, and then they looked at the stars and watched the sunset.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be the checklist.
Oh my goodness. How many of these? Oh, there's 21.
I don't know. You didn't tell me what we're talking about today.
Leave love notes.
Mm-hmm.
Try adult games.
Yes.
Bake something.
That's your favorite.
Try a fun hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Lavish dinner at home.
Yes. And it doesn't have to be steak. It can be chicken. Well, not chicken anymore. Chicken's expensive now.
Yeah. I am not good at this. It says sultry dancing. I can't dance at all. You're sorry.
You know what? I will say there is something to be said, even though you can turn in a circle.
Oh, yeah.
And that's okay. But I think when you talk sultry dancing, it doesn't have to be perfect, because there has been times where you jokingly try to bust a move. I don't know how else to describe what you do. And it makes me laugh so much. But at the end of the day, I know that you are doing that to make me feel special. And that's what matters. Like, it doesn't have to be good, because goodness knows that we are not good at certain things. But yeah.
And the last one is, instead of doing dinners or all the over the top stuff, go to a comedy show.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Really, it boils down to do something special with the person you love. And I've seen people do scavenger hunts. Like, the love notes made me think of this, where they leave little love notes around the house, or, some people will break into their room. Well, I guess it's not breaking into their room if they're living together, but, they will deck out the room with, the sparkly hearts and then to the nines. And then there's some people, like, our kids love the Valentine's Day card exchange at school. Mm-hmm. They love it. We already have them, which, yay for me, because then I don't have to worry about getting enough for their class. But dollar store has gotten really good about holiday stuff.
Yeah.
And, if you are not someone who thinks through those things, go to the dollar store or a craft store, mm-hmm. and they sell so much crap. No, I shouldn't say that. They have so many different options. Like, you can go get those little rose petals. You can get little hearts. And sprinkle it on your table, sprinkle it in your room. Or like they have cards. You can make a card. There's so many different options. If you need more other thoughts, let me know. I'm a very crafty person. But speak to your significant other's love language.
Yeah. Cool. I like it. Do it together. That's the idea. And plan ahead. Because if you're going to do the dinner thing, do reservations.
Yes.
Because nobody wants to sit in the waiting room at any restaurant for a long time.
Yeah. And Valentine's Day comes up faster than you think.
Yeah. So it's 2.5 weeks.
Mm-hmm. And the biggest reason to think ahead is if you're ordering something or going to the store, stuff sells out because everybody thinks about it last minute, usually day before. And I think it falls on a Monday, Tuesday. It's the beginning of the week this year. I want to say it's Monday.
Probably. I don't know. We don't ever celebrate.
I know.
The day. It is Tuesday.
There we go.
A Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday this year.
Yeah.
So make sure the weekend before.
Make your Uber reservations.
Yeah. By time you see this, you better have thought about what you want to do. If not, pick something that we talked about.
All right.
I was like, why do you have your nose on the mic?
I don't know. Yeah. It's weird to talk about Valentine's Day because it's not like our big thing. Like, it's not at all related, but we think small house, big adventures. Like, we do big stuff together all the time.
All the time.
Not on Valentine's Day.
Well, and we also do for any holiday. So Valentine's Day, our birthday, our anniversary, Christmas. But we have also, and this is probably, something helpful to make sure that your expectations are in the right spot, is we do stuff throughout the year for each other, slipping love notes into your lunchbox. If you don't know, take a dry erase marker and you can write on your mirror. And I did that for a long time. I probably should do that again. Where's my dry erase markers?
I don't know.
I don't either. But when we first got married, because I am not, we love the 5 Love Languages book. If you haven't ever read it, probably my favorite book for anything marriage related or relationship related. But I am not a words of affirmation person and you are. And so I had to get into a good habit of speaking into you. And so writing notes, I wrote sticky notes and would put them in random spots. I think we've randomly found them throughout the years because we forgot about them. But it doesn't have to be, I think we would do, I love you, just different small phrases. And sometimes, and it sounds weird, but doing something that's out of your normal. And like when we were broke, buying pizza, because that was a big deal for us at that point in our lives. Or, if you don't necessarily, it's going to sound weird, but you are not a super stew person at all. And that's fine. But I
get is clam chowder.
But I am. And so there has been times where you bring me soup or you would bring me something. And it's that thought, like you're doing something that's thoughtful. But we do that throughout the year. Heck, you brought me Panera the other day. So.
Yeah.
I know. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Well, no,
but we do it throughout the year.
It's a good habit to get into. If I go places and I'm going straight home, relatively close to that, because Panera is 40 minutes away.
This is true, but you were right there.
Yeah. But that's stuff that happens all the time. Like when I work at the coffee shop, I come home with coffee. Like, yeah.
And that's the best day ever for me. but it's the thought. And so for us, because we do those things throughout the year, randomly you'll show up with a necklace. I mean, the one I'm wearing now is because of that.
Which is funny because you were looking at it
I was
after
looking
I already
at
got
it. Yes. But you know, it's those little things that like you'll go through. And if you don't do this, if you share a Prime account, have a separate list for the both of you, because you do this all the time where you'll go through my list and you'll just randomly buy something for me because it spoke to you. And I
normal things.
No, yes, yes. Like I had a very specific set of markers that I wanted for my craft stuff, and they randomly showed up, and I was like, I didn't order this, and you're like,
yeah,
you're welcome. So, but I highly recommend men do this, women do this, because you know, if you don't know what to get for your significant other, if you've got a list to work
when
off
it's
of,
Christmas time and you have no idea what to get your wife, and she has an Amazon wish list that you have access to.
Yes,
you can share those. If you have your own Amazon accounts, you can share those lists.
Oh, I know. We have a kid list.
Yeah, we have a list for everything.
We do.
Anyway, all right. Last thoughts.
Good ideas. I don't know. You didn't tell me what we were talking about, so I'm like,
that's what we're talking about.
There's nothing there.
Exactly.
This is as unscripted as it gets.
This is like, oh, Valentine's Day's in 3 weeks. We should talk about this. That's what we're... There are no notes.
You had the list.
Yes, I have an article up from marriage.com about Valentine's Day. I don't have the show notes like we normally do.
5 minutes before we're filming, what are we talking about?
I'm not telling you.
I'm not telling you.
Crap. Because I didn't know what we were talking about.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Anyway, we are not mental health professionals.
No.
If Singles Awareness Day or Valentine's Day is a challenge for you and you need professional help, please go find some. We are not it. These are just some practical things we think can make your marriage better. We hope that you have some fantastic, awesome experience this Valentine's Day. Like, subscribe, hit the like button. At My Wife Still Likes Me, mywifestilllikesme.com. Hit the bell. Oh my gosh. Do all the things, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.